Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and I am an artist of all the varieties, pretty much. This week, I decided to finish a painting that I started a year ago, and it's a redo of the painting that you are seeing right now upon the screen. This painting is called Dark Matter. I did it in 2018. I did not use a reference, and it's very, interesting anatomically. This is the one I started over a year ago and has just been sitting, and this tape is sad. It's neat, but I really like where this is going, and I figured I should finally finish it, so here we go. I considered retaping, but the places that were peeling off, I just pushed them down, and it held up really well. I thought I was using the right black right here when I started. I was not. So it turns out after 10 minutes of pulling out every watercolor palette that I have and color testing all my blacks that none of them were the right one, and it took me a further 5 minutes to realize that it was actually Payne's Gray that I had been painting with over a year ago. Oops. Yeah, I thought it was my Holbein black, which I think is a Mars black. I can't remember. But no, it was a Winsor & Newton Payne's Gray. And that's actually fine because I'm a huge Payne's Gray fan. I just never seen so much of it on one page. It's interesting because it looks quite purple next to the original painting. But I actually love it. I think it's gorgeous. It is truly one of my favorite paint colors, actually. I've loved it for many years. So, happy accident? ? It does look very black, squeezed out of the tube and dried in a pan. So, understandable why I just was like, here's black, and started painting with it. It's fine, though. It really is. Like, if they're not side by side, and they're not going to be ever after this anymore, you probably won't notice. So yeah, this whole process was just layer after layer after layer to try and build up the values. And there's probably an easier, faster way to do it, but you know, I don't do things the fast or easy way. I do them the slow and hard way. I'm trying to figure out how not to be like that, but I'm sure that many of my fellow artists can relate to that. So the original concept of this painting came from a comment that my friend made when, I was probably like 17, and I was showing, maybe younger than that, and I was showing my friend, who was at the time my older brother's girlfriend, and then we stayed friends after they broke up because her and I both loved horses. So anyway, I was showing her this drawing that I'd done. It was like of a Frisian horse that was galloping, and it had gotten really smudged. Like the graphite had just smudged everywhere, and it was speckly looking, and I was lamenting how sad I was about that, and my friend was like, no, it's really cool. It looks like the horse was formed of darkness. And for some reason, the formed of darkness thing has just like stayed with me for years. Like over a decade later, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a painting based on that comment by my friend. So that's where the original painting came from. Just this horse sort of appearing out of the dark. Which is why it's so just chaotic. It's kind of fading into the background, and it's all splotchy, and yeah, that was the idea. But use references. So I was really proud of it when I first finished it, and tried to sell it and everything. But, you know, as the years went by and I learned to see better as an artist, I began to realize, like, oh, this is actually really not that great. It's anatomically really weird. The eyes are very bulgy, and it isn't it. So Oh, that's not right here. I was just waiting because I'm going to do something and I want to explain what I'm doing. But yeah, I decided last year that I was going to redo it because I really loved the concept. I loved working on that original painting. So yeah, the Redux is here. So the original was called Dark Matter and this one is Dark Matter Redux. Here we are. So here, I flipped this over so that I could use the tip of the brush on the outside edge because it was holding more color, more pigment, and the inside was more water, and so it kind of gives this really nice gradient effect, and I couldn't get that in the other direction on that side, so I turned it over. That's why I did that. Cool thing you can do with a round brush that I discovered literally 2 days ago when I was doing that. Anywho, I totally forgot what I was saying before this. Yay! It's okay. But I know I was talking about this painting. But yeah, I did it. I redid it. Oh yeah, I don't really redo my paintings or my art very much. And I'm realizing that, like, I want to do more of that. So I probably will. This was a really, really satisfying experience to finish this and look at them side by side and see, like, the improvement I made. I used a reference for this one. Please enjoy my head in the shot, sorry. I used a reference for this one, but it was like, it was a further away image of a horse that was trotting toward the camera, and I just liked the head, and in the end, it's like, it looks nothing like the reference. It was like, I need just something to peek at once in a while to make sure that the face looks anatomically correct. That was it. So that's the only reason I used one. And I highly, highly recommend that everyone else do the same thing. If you are drawing or painting something that even if you're really familiar with it, double check. Because I have been doing horse art my entire life. And before I did the original painting of this, I had done some pretty amazing pieces without reference. Mostly just sketches and stuff. I didn't really finish a lot of stuff before, but I could do a horse pretty dang good. And yet sometimes you think, because you're so confident that because you've done a good job before on something, you're so confident, and then you are overconfident and it doesn't really work out as well as you thought it did. And I just say this, like, especially with things that are anatomically complicated, it might be good to just double check or run it by somebody who can help you see what you're missing, because fresh eyes are really, really nice to have. I think that it's important to not always rely on yourself to know whether something is great or not. Obviously, things are just for fun sometimes, and it's important to just enjoy the process and be cool with whatever happens at the end. I, however, was doing that painting with the intention of selling it at a show, and someone did want it really bad. There was a person who really wanted it, but they didn't end up buying it, and I always wondered why. And now I look back and I'm thinking, wow, I bet they really loved the concept, and they were just like, but it's not quite there. It's not quite it. And so, yeah, this one is it, I hope. So, and yeah, here's the chaos process of me doing the crazy background stuff. I'm adding splatters and letting the paint drip down with gravity. I set it up on my easel so that it would drip. And this was really fun. This painting was just nice, and it was nice the first time. Just this process of being messy with the background and the edges of the horse, and just kind of letting the watercolor do what watercolor does. Yeah. Here's the tape peel. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this process, and that you'll stick around and come back if you like my videos. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. And now I'm gonna talk in the video in the past. So 2 days ago, after I finished the painting, I laid it face down and I sprayed it with water on the back, and then ran a paper towel over it, did that again, and then I put paper towels over it, and then I flattened it with books. So this should totally flatten the painting, and now I'm gonna pull it out and see how it did. It's not totally flat, spoiler alert, but it's much closer, and after, I'm gonna put it in the frame that the other one was in and see if that'll get it flatter. And then after that, I'll take it out again and try to get a photograph of it when my polarizing filter gets here, because it's got a little bit of glare in the really dark spots like the eyes and the nostrils. Yeah, here they are side by side. You can see how purple the new one is with the Payne's gray instead of black, but I really love it. It's so much more what I was going for originally, and still not perfect, but I'm really pleased with it. Also, I'm thinking I might do some similar vibe paintings in the future, like dark horses and such, but with gold somehow in them. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. Anyway, thanks for being here. Hope to see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Bye!